This interview is part of the History Heard project. The content of this interview may be used for historical research, however, no part of the video itself may be reproduced without the express written permission of an authorized representative of History Heard. Today is September 28th, 2012 at 7:30 p.m. This is an interview with Ms. Dara Torres in Boston, Massachusetts. She was born on April 15th, 1967 in Beverly Hills, California. At the 2008 Olympics, you're the first woman in history to swim in any Olympics over the age of 40. At that time, you also became the first swimmer ever to compete in 5 different Olympic Games. How have you kept going at such an elite level for so long?
I think that, again, my love of the sport has really helped me be able to stay in the sport for so long. I think the breaks I took really helped me too. I think that, swimming is a tough sport, and it can wreak havoc on you when you're constantly looking at a black line, swimming back and forth every day, 2 times a day, 9 workouts a week. You get 1 week off a year. It's tiring. It's tiring both mentally and physically. And so I think the fact that I took breaks really allowed me to be able to love the sport and to miss it enough where I just I want to be in there. And I love competing. I mean, that's just, I love it. And so when I get out there and sit on the blocks, I don't worry about, who's what age or who's the world record holder. I'm just up there swimming my own race, and I want to have fun. And I think that's what kind of gets me going is the competitiveness and wanting to win.
Oh, I love winning too.
I
get that. You've had so many wins. Is there one in particular that's been the most memorable or the most fulfilling, gratifying?
It's hard to pinpoint one win or one race that was great. If you asked me when I was younger, I'd probably say my first world record at a meet in Holland. But now that I'm older, I don't look at it that way. I look at it as what's the most rewarding part of being in the sport. And for me, it was what it took and what I learned to make an Olympic team, and the road that I took, and the sacrifices and the hard work and the lessons I learned about myself and about other people, and that's really the most rewarding thing. And so you're asking me now at 45, my answer is probably much different than it would have been if I was younger.
Absolutely. And then, like every athlete in history, you've had a few disappointments, a few losses. What's the key in remaining tough and resilient enough to come back after a loss?
Well, that's the thing that people have to realize, and especially like young kids who want to be great athletes or want to do the best in what they do, is that you're always going to have disappointments. And there's not one single athlete who just keeps getting better, never loses a race. I mean, that just doesn't happen. And so you just have to be strong enough mentally to know that and take whatever happened in your race as to why you didn't win or do your best. And learn from that and move on and try to fix those things when you're in training. And that's kind of what I do. I mean, I've had, many shares of ups and downs in the many years that I've done this sport. And that's what makes you a champion, is how you learn from your mistakes, I guess.
And in the course of your many years of dazzling achievements, you must have come up with some valuable lessons and gained some insights for people of all ages. What would you tell an aspiring athlete?
I think what I would tell an aspiring athlete is don't put all your eggs in one basket. And what I mean by that is I think one of the reasons, at least when I was younger, why I continued in the sport for so long until my first retirement, with the fact that I did other things aside from just swimming. When I was at Westlake, I played basketball and I played volleyball and I did other things so I wouldn't just get bored and my sport just to become monotonous. And I think that's very important. So when I go and talk to kids or to parents, I let them know that, let them do other things too. Don't just make this all about this one thing, because they will tire out quickly. And that's, I'm lucky that I had parents that let me do, other sports and other activities, so I didn't get bored of my sport and I was able to stay in it, for a long period of time and enjoy it.
That's even more incredible that you could do all those things. It didn't have to focus on that one sport.
It helps, I don't think people realize that you do need a break. Your body needs a break. You need to do things differently and not continue to do the same thing over and over again, because you get to a point where you just plateau.
And then for my last question, you did go to the Olympics as a spectator and you watched the the swimming. What was it like being there and just watching?
Let's see. Being in London was tough. It was very bittersweet. I mean, when I walked out of the pool after the 50 at the Olympic trials, I was upset, but I think I was almost okay too, because I knew that there was nothing else I could have done. Like, I gave it everything I had. I did all my training, all the nutrition, swam the best race I can swim, and so I got out. I'm like, okay, you know what? I didn't make it, but I did the best I could, and that's actually a very satisfying feeling. When I went to London, that was tough. I mean, you know, I wanted to be there. It was great to be able to cheer on my teammates and cheer on the U.S., but also, you know, you're looking down there and you're seeing the team together, and you know, I miss that. I miss being a part of the U.S. team. So I would say it was pretty bittersweet being there.
Thank you so much.